the person I have to become and the changes I have to make are changes that I have to sustain for the rest of my life. And I think that used to be something that really scared me because I didn't want to do that. I thought that I could just keep enjoying whatever foods I want all the time, and it just doesn't work like that. But now I'm glad it doesn't, because I convinced myself that I was happier eating whatever I wanted. Eating whatever all the time, whenever I want, but that's not true happiness. Hi, my name is Joya, and this is the first video on my channel, so welcome. I started this channel to kind of talk about my weight loss journey, my lifting journey, my binge eating journey, basically anything to do with like fitness and my health and yeah, like all that kind of stuff. This video specifically, I really want to talk about like the things that made me want to start losing weight and actually fully commit this time. To give some backstory, I've been overweight for pretty much my whole life, and I have been a serious binge eater for a majority of my life as well. And so I've always kind of been like my lowest kind of weight once I was a teenager was probably around like 170, 175. My highest weight has been about 220, which is what I was at like 3 months ago. I am now at about like 218, I would say. So I've lost about 12 pounds. Kind of just wanted to talk about like why I actually decided that I wanted to, start losing weight again, and the things that kind of made me notice that I was really unhealthy and I needed to actually make like a serious life change. So I wrote some of them down. Okay, so I am a dancer. I powerlift, I dance, and I love dancing. I've always loved dancing. It's just been part of my soul. Like I love music and I love dancing. And I've been part of a dance team. We performed this year, 2020. This year? Yeah, this year. We performed this year and last year. And this year when we were practicing, I started noticing that like I just couldn't move as well as the other girls who were smaller than me, and they were healthy, they were in shape. And I noticed that like the movements that they were able to do, I wasn't really able to do as easily or as smoothly or look as good doing them. And not that I couldn't get better at looking good doing them, like there's also a factor of, practice, right? But it just was like, it was getting hard for me to move. And this is when I started getting up to like 220 pounds. A few years ago I lost like 20 pounds, and like ever since then I've been slowly gaining those 20 pounds back. But then I was like I started getting heavy, and I was like, yeah, this is not good. I can't like dance well. I can't dance well, I can't move well, and it's preventing me from being a good dancer, which I want to be a good dancer. I want to be able to move well, and like I don't like the fact that my weight is preventing me from doing that. That was one big thing that kind of like made me realize not even that I needed to like lose weight, just that I need to get healthy. Like at this point, it's like not even about my weight. Well, it is, but the overall thing is like I realize I actually just need to start caring about my health, because if I don't do it now, I'm 23, and if I don't start now, it's just gonna get so much harder as I get older. And every year it gets harder. I mean, every year, just because of life, because of getting busy, my life is gonna get busier, my life is gonna get harder now that I'm like an adult and I'm out of college. And so if I don't start now, like when am I gonna start? When I have kids? I mean, that's not a good idea. Like I ideally want to be healthy and in shape for my kids, right? And set a good example for them. Other thing was that I noticed I was getting out of breath a lot. Like, yeah, I just was getting out of breath a lot, going upstairs, walking. My cardio was horrible, and I didn't like that. I was like, why am I walking 2 blocks and getting tired? Why am I walking up 1 flight of stairs and getting out of breath? Like, I don't think that's normal. And it's not. And it's because I never, like, I went to the gym, but I didn't do cardio, I didn't walk, I didn't do any of that kind of exercise. Thing I noticed was that I recently have tried to become more flexible, because I've been stretching more. Like, after my lifting sessions, I do some mobility and stretching, and I noticed that, like, my fat on my body is like physically preventing me from becoming more flexible, which is like, what the fuck? Like, seriously? So I want to be flexible. Like, I think your body feels better and moves better when you're flexible. I'm trying to touch my toes, and the fucking 3 rolls of fat on my stomach are literally preventing me from doing that. I didn't like that, and I just started noticing that there are more and more things that I'm having trouble doing physically. Obviously, another one is just not liking the way I look. As a bigger person, when you are big, you don't know how you look. Like, you don't realize how big you look. Even when you see photos, like, yes, you know you're big, you know you're overweight, but you just don't see it. You don't see it for what it is or how much it is, right? I didn't really notice that I was gaining weight kind of, you know, not super quickly, but I had gained back 20 pounds. And if I had kept going on that path that I was on, I would have gained back, you know, I would have just kept gaining weight. And that's not ideal. I decided that it was time for me to not only just fucking do it, but fully commit and finish this thing. I've been trying to lose weight and get in shape for basically my whole life, like, since I was a teenager. And yeah, I'm over it. When I've lost weight before, I had probably about 60 pounds to lose. Okay, I lost 20. I didn't realize the amount of patience and, like, dedication it takes to lose 60 plus pounds. Like, it takes time, patience, and dedication, which it's not even that I couldn't do it, it's that I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that it was gonna take me more than a year. I didn't know, and I wouldn't, you know, I was like, this is gonna be a short thing, and then I'll get back to my life. Unfortunately, for me, that's just not how this is. Because of my past eating issues, because of the fact that I've never had a balanced, you know, relationship with food, and I've never worked out super consistently, except for now that I go to the gym, but I mean work out, like, you know, not only to build muscle, but for my health, to walk, to do things that make me healthier. That was never something I super cared about, but I think it just finally clicked that if I really want to be in shape and be healthy, I'm gonna have to commit to this for the rest of my life. This is not a, like, 1 year, 2 year thing. You know, sure, losing the weight might be, but the habits I have to build, and, like, the amount of the person I have to become and the changes I have to make are changes that I have to sustain for the rest of my life. And I think that used to be something that really scared me, because I didn't want to do that. I thought that I could just keep enjoying whatever foods I want all the time, and it just doesn't work like that. But now I'm glad it doesn't, because I convinced myself that I was happier eating whatever I wanted, or, like, having food freedom, right? Just, you know, whatever, right? Like, eating whatever all the time, whenever I want, but that's not true happiness. I've realized that true happiness comes from, well, a lot of different places, but it comes from being healthy. Like, I always feel better when I'm healthier. Like, yeah, sure, looks has to do with that as well, but and I feel good. But to create that feeling, for me, requires discipline and dedication. Like I have to be on top of my meals. It's just that I'm aware. Like I have to constantly be aware of what I'm eating. And yeah, that can become exhausting, but the alternative is that I eat whatever I want, I gain a bunch of weight, and I don't feel good. And I don't like that alternative. So, but yeah, so like I said, I'm about 10 pounds down now. It's not much compared to how far I have to go, but I just feel like, I don't know, like I'm okay with it taking a while. I'm okay with it. Like it doesn't feel hard anymore. It feels easy, honestly, to be in a deficit. And I don't mean easy like it's still hard. There's for 100% days where it is hard. And it's not even that I'm hungry, it's just that I'm not where I want to be. The hunger that I feel for where I want to be outweighs every single day the feeling of me wanting to eat more food. At least most days. Some days I still fuck up. I mean, I go out to eat, or I enjoy my life. Like I don't want to feel miserable, but those days are much more far few in between than they used to be. Like that used to be a weekly occurrence. That used to be, I don't have the right tripod, so I'm gonna hold this with my hand for the ending, but these are pretty much the main reasons why I decided like I actually need to commit to this shit and get it done with. And I'm sharing this honestly, like, not even just to keep myself accountable, but because I know there's a lot of people who deal with these same things. I mean, America isn't really healthy, and a lot of us are trapped. We're trapped in our bodies because of the foods that we eat and the choices we make, which are made easier by living in America. It's not an excuse, but it's part of the truth. And I'm tired of being trapped, and I know that there are a lot of people who are also tired of feeling trapped in their own body, and yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and maybe I'll keep posting. We'll see.